Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Perkenalkan, nama saya Mashita Phitaloka Fandia Purwaningtyas atau akrab disapa Mashita. Saya adalah dosen di Departemen Ilmu Komunikasi, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Video ini adalah pernyataan diri dosen dalam Unjuk Kerja Tridarma Perguruan Tinggi atau PDD-UKTPT yang disusun dalam rangka Sertifikasi Dosen tahun 2025. Dalam video kali ini, saya akan menjelaskan tentang salah satu mata kuliah yang saya ampu, yang berjudul Media, Youth, and Culture in Indonesia. Di dalam video ini, saya akan menyampaikan 3 unsur dari mata kuliah ini, yaitu delivery, interaction, dan assessment. Di dalam aspek delivery ada deskripsi mata kuliah, capaian pembelajaran, sistem pembelajaran, dan materi pembelajaran. Di dalam aspek interaction ada metode pembelajaran, di dalam aspek assessment ada sistem penilaian, dan kemudian video ini akan ditutup dengan rekaman video pembelajaran yang sudah dilakukan di dalam kelas. Deskripsi mata kuliah ini merupakan mata kuliah pilihan departemen yang ditawarkan oleh Program Internasional S1 atau IUP dengan bobot 3 SKS dan dapat diambil oleh mahasiswa internasional lintas prodi di fakultas. Jadi tidak hanya mahasiswa ilmu komunikasi saja yang berhak mengikuti mata kuliah ini, tetapi juga prodi lain. Tidak ada mata kuliah prasyarat untuk perkuliahan ini, dan perkuliahan ini berfokus pada kajian media dan kaum muda, utamanya terkait budaya kaum muda dalam bermedia, bagaimana media dan kaum muda itu saling berjalin kelindan dalam proses komunikasi sehari-hari. Di sini kita akan mempelajari fenomena lintas generasi kaum muda dalam bermedia, serta faktor-faktor sosial, kultural, ekonomi, dan politik yang membentuk persamaan dan perbedaannya. Dan mata kuliah ini juga mengkaji secara kritis bagaimana media dan perkembangannya berdampak pada kehidupan kaum muda lintas generasi. Kenapa lintas generasi? Karena di dalam mata kuliah ini kami memahami bahwa kaum muda itu tidak hanya terbatas pada konteks anak-anak muda yang ada sekarang, tapi juga bahwa setiap generasi manusia pernah menjadi kaum muda, dan setiap generasi tersebut mereka mempunyai ciri khas, mempunyai karakter masing-masing dalam bermedia dan berkomunikasi. Nah, untuk capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah ini ada 2 poin. Yang pertama adalah X point, yaitu mahasiswa mampu menjelaskan konsep dasar, perspektif, dan teori dalam kajian media dan budaya kaum muda. Yang kedua adalah Analyze, yaitu mahasiswa mampu menganalisis fenomena kaum muda dan media menggunakan teori dan juga konsep yang relevan. Sistem pembelajaran di dalam mata kuliah ini terdiri dari 14 kali tatap muka, baik daring maupun luring, karena mata kuliah ini terbuka bagi mahasiswa internasional, dan terkadang semester yang berjalan di luar negeri tidak sama jadwalnya dengan semester yang berjalan di Indonesia, sehingga beberapa mahasiswa sering datang terlambat atau bahkan pulang lebih awal ke negara asalnya. Untuk itu, biasanya kami memfasilitasi pertemuan tatap muka daring di awal dan juga akhir semester. Untuk beban waktu pembelajaran, karena mata kuliah ini terdiri dari 3 SKS, oleh karena itu mahasiswa memiliki bobot 150 menit per minggu, yang itu terdiri dari 1 kali 50 menit tatap muka terjadwal, 1 kali 50 menit belajar mandiri, dan 1 kali 50 menit penugasan terstruktur. Karena mata kuliah ini adalah mata kuliah advance atau tingkat lanjut, sehingga tatap muka terjadwal bobotnya tidak terlalu banyak, dan mahasiswa dibobotkan lebih banyak untuk penugasan struktur dan juga belajar mandiri. Ujian tengah semester atau UTS dilaksanakan setelah pertemuan ke-7 untuk mengevaluasi baik CPMK 1 dan 2. Ujian akhir semester atau UAS dilaksanakan setelah pertemuan ke-14 untuk mengevaluasi CPMK 1 dan 2. Materi pembelajaran di dalam kuliah ini terdiri dari paruh awal dan paruh akhir. Di paruh awal, kita akan belajar diawali dengan Introduction to Youth Culture and Media Studies. Di sini adalah pendahuluan terhadap budaya kaum muda dan juga kajian media, bagaimana kajian media saling berkaitan dengan budaya kaum muda, dan dilanjutkan dengan perspektif generasi dalam mempelajari kaum muda, seperti tadi yang sudah saya sampaikan, bahwa setiap kaum muda itu terdiri dari banyak generasi. Kita mengetahui ada baby boomers, gen X, millennials, generasi Z, bahkan gen alpha dan juga gen beta yang terbaru, dan setiap generasi memiliki budayanya sendiri dalam berkomunikasi dan bermedia, dan itu yang akan dipelajari. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan Youth Identity and Self-Narration, ini terkait kedirian kaum muda, terkait identitasnya dan bagaimana ia mengekspresikan identitasnya di dalam media, utamanya media digital dan media sosial. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan kajian media dan kaum muda kontemporer, bagian pertama. Kajian media dan kaum muda kontemporer ini terdiri dari 2 bagian, nanti di paruh awal dan paruh akhir, dan bentuknya adalah independent study. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan kaum muda, budaya populer, dan budaya partisipatoris. Di sini mempelajari tentang bagaimana keterkaitan kaum muda dengan budaya populer yang melingkupinya dan juga budaya partisipatoris yang terjadi dengan adanya fasilitasi media digital dan internet. Topik selanjutnya adalah subculture, post-subculture, dan neo-tribes. Di situ mempelajari bagaimana kaum muda ketika mereka berkelompok dan berkomunitas akan membentuk budaya-budaya tersendiri yang khas dibandingkan generasi lainnya. Kemudian paruh awal materi pembelajaran ditutup dengan pembahasan tentang subaltern youth atau pembahasan tentang kaum muda subaltern, kaum muda yang termarginalkan di dalam struktur sosial masyarakat. Di paruh akhir akan dibuka dengan pembahasan tentang kaum muda dan budaya konsumen, bagaimana kaum muda di sini terjebak di dalam budaya konsumen seringnya hanya sebagai target pasar, namun mereka juga sebenarnya bisa berperan aktif di dalamnya. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan kaum muda dan budaya fans dan fandom. Di sini tentang bagaimana kaum muda saat ini di tengah maraknya budaya populer itu banyak fenomena kaum muda sebagai fans dan keterlibatannya secara aktif di dalam fandom. Kemudian dilanjutkan tentang pembahasan youth and gender, bagaimana konstruksi gender di dalam masyarakat itu berpengaruh terhadap kaum muda. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan bagian kedua dari kajian kontemporer kaum muda dan media. Kemudian dilanjutkan dengan topik kaum muda, aktivisme dan politik. Kemudian dilanjutkan topik kaum muda dan budaya permainan atau gaming culture. Kemudian diakhiri dengan global and transnational youth culture. Metode pembelajaran dalam mata kuliah ini terdiri dari 3 model, yaitu model pertama adalah sinkron, berupa tatap muka terjadwal baik secara daring maupun luring. Model kedua adalah asinkron, kita menggunakan Google Classroom sebagai Learning Management System atau LMS, dan Google Classroom ini digunakan oleh dosen untuk mengunggah materi dan oleh mahasiswa untuk mengumpulkan tugas. Kemudian model yang terakhir adalah berbasis studi kasus atau case-based learning. Di sini digunakan penugasan terstruktur untuk mahasiswa. Jadi mahasiswa secara berkelompok melakukan studi kasus, melakukan presentasi atas hasilnya, melakukan diskusi, dan melakukan assessment sejawat terhadap teman-temannya. Jadi sesama mahasiswa saling menilai kelompok yang melakukan presentasi. Outline perkuliahan di paruh awal sesi 1 hingga 7 dilakukan untuk memenuhi CPMK nomor 1. Di sini materinya mulai dari Introduction to Youth Culture and Media Studies hingga Youth Identity and Self-Narration dilakukan secara ceramah dan diskusi. Namun di sesi ketiga kita ada assessment dengan metode tugas paper. Kemudian di sesi keempat diselingi dengan studi independen atau belajar mandiri untuk studi media dan kaum muda kontemporer. Di sini mahasiswa diberikan beberapa paper untuk dibaca, kemudian diberi tugas untuk mereview paper tersebut. Dan di sesi kelima hingga ketujuh itu dilakukan secara ceramah dan diskusi. Kemudian paruh awal ditutup dengan ujian tengah semester, diberi penugasan berupa video social commentary mengenai neo-tribes yang ada di sekitar teman-teman mahasiswa. Kemudian di paruh akhir perkuliahan, sesi 8 hingga 14, itu dilakukan untuk memenuhi CPMK nomor 2. Materi di sesi 8 hingga 10 itu dilakukan secara studi kasus dan diskusi. Di sini asesmennya adalah presentasi kelompok dan asesmen sejawat. Kemudian di sesi 11 diselingi dengan studi independen, kajian kontemporer media dan kaum muda, dan mahasiswa diberi tugas untuk mereview paper seperti yang di paruh awal tadi. Kemudian sesi 12 hingga 14 dilanjutkan studi kasus dan diskusi dengan metode asesmen, presentasi kelompok, dan asesmen sejawat. Dan mata kuliah ini ditutup dengan ujian akhir semester, penugasan poster kajian tentang fenomena budaya kaum muda dan media. Di sini adalah komponen penilaiannya. Tugas mingguan 1, yaitu untuk materi Youth Identity and Self-Narration, persentase 5, untuk memenuhi CPMK 1, tugas mingguan 2, review paper di dalam studi independen, persentase 5 untuk memenuhi CPMK 1, tugas mingguan 3, review paper di dalam studi independen bagian kedua untuk memenuhi CPMK nomor 2, di sini persentasenya juga 5, kemudian presentasi dan diskusi hasil studi kasus, presentase 35 dan digunakan untuk memenuhi CPMK nomor 2, kemudian UTS presentase 20 digunakan untuk memenuhi CPMK 1 dan 2, kemudian UAS persentase 30 digunakan untuk memenuhi CPMK 1 dan 2. Demikian pemaparan tentang mata kuliah Media, Youth, and Culture in Indonesia. Setelah ini Anda akan melihat rekaman video proses pengajaran dalam mata kuliah ini. Okay, good afternoon all. Now we'll begin the lecture. I will share the presentation with you. Yes, so this is our material for today. We're going to talk about youth identity and self-narration as the continuation from last week's topic. And we'll begin with how to define ourselves. So I want to know first, how do you define yourself in 3 words? Probably you can tell me whether I'm a woman, I'm a student, or I'm an overthinker, something like that. Anyone want to define yourself? Adele?
Okay, hello Mbak. So
Um,
I'm define myself as a student,
mhm,
a middle child, and
mhm.
a pretty woman.
Also, your middle child, the
Yes.
child energy. Okay. Anyone else want to define yourself in 3 words?
Me, ma'am. Um, I define myself in discipline, diligent, and productive.
Okay. No ambitious? This
No,
first? No? Okay. Thank you, Anna. So, why do I ask you this question? We're going to talk about identity. If we are talking about identity, we as a communication scholar, we need to borrow some definitions from psychology and sociology to approach the meaning of identity. So, self-identity, this is the definition. An identity is, at least in part, an explicit theory of oneself as a person. So, when you describe yourself as a woman, for example, or as a student, as a passionate, as a productive person, then that is the way you are theorizing about yourself, and that is your identity. The question surrounding who I am, where do I belong, where am I headed, this is the way people describe their identity, the way people theorizing themselves. The social nature of identity. So we have a rather classic theories here, 3 classic theories. First of all, from Cooley, the looking glass self. Cooley said that our view of ourselves depends in large part on how we imagine that others perceive us. In other words, that the way we define ourselves, sometimes we think about what other people think about us. So when we say that I'm a passionate person, probably you say that because some other time in another place, someone has told you that you are a passionate person. That is what is called as looking glass self. And then generalized other by George Herbert Mead in 1934. Mead said that our sense of self arises when we consider ourselves from the perspective of the particular social system in which we are participating, such as the family or workplace. Just like Adelia said before that she is a middle child, then yeah, it is like the example of generalized other. I'm a middle child, but I'm a firstborn. I'm a leader in my organization. I'm a student. Student is also when you're a part of a social circle, right? So it is the example of generalized other. And then the last one from Erving Goffman, dramaturgic analysis. He said that the self as a collaborative manufacturer between a performer and his or her audience. As such, the self-existence depends on the recognition it receives from an audience. So sometimes when we as a person identify ourselves, we tend to like using different persona for different people. When we meet our friends, rather than we meet our teacher, we will show different persona, we will show different attitude or behavior. That is the dramaturgic analysis. It doesn't mean that you are being fake or something like that. It is just that there are so many layers of someone's persona or someone's identity, and it can be in accordance to whom they are interacting with. That is according to government. So we have 2 types of identity. We have personal identity and we have social identity. In personal identity, it is based on self-assessment and self-reflection. Who I am myself, I am a woman, I am pretty woman, and then I am a passionate, I am a productive. This is a part of personal identity. But we also have with us, embedded with us, the social identity. Why? Because we live among people, we live in a social environment. Therefore, we have a social identity embedded to us. Social identity is connected to feelings of inclusion or belonging to one social group. So this is surrounding the question where I belong, what am I part of? For example, if you are, but I am a part of Komako, or I am a part of Dema FISIPOL, I am a part of Ajisaka committee, for example. So that is actually the social identity, because identity is never established. So it is always evolving as the human being is living. Self-identity in the new context in digital era. When talking about virtual or online identity, there are actually 2 meanings about it. The first meaning, it refers to identity as an identification and self-presentation. or representation of the individual on the internet. The physicality that everybody else can see, your profile picture, your bio, and then your Instagram feed, for example, and then your reels. So that is the first meaning of virtual identity. But the second meaning, it refers to a more complex and complicated online persona. It is something that you want other people to see from you. For example, when you are posting about Maudy Ayunda and then saying that you are inspired by her, it doesn't mean that you just literally like Maudy Ayunda, but there is a double meaning that you are trying to build this persona that you are a diligent person, just like Maudi Ayunda, and that you are really passionate about your education, just like Maudi, and something like that. So this is the second meaning of online identity. The thought, ideas, visions, or fantasies that users attribute to their virtual representation. It is the transfer, perhaps unconsciously. Most of it, we are unconscious about what identity we try to build in the social media setting, of the thoughts, emotion, and other aspect of their self to their online selves. There is this notion that I am the same person online and offline. There is always this sense of similarities when we share a part of ourselves in the digital media setting. We actually feel that that is me, and that is also me in offline reality. So me in offline and online reality is always the same. There is no difference between the online me and the offline me. There is always the sense of similarities in online self-presentation. And actually, whether we realize it or not, no matter how we try to polish our presentation in social media, it is always represent some part of ourselves. So, have you ever seen this meme? The way we present ourselves in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in Tinder, and in Instagram, they are very different. And this is called the Dolly Parton challenge. Dolly Parton is the woman that we see here. This graceful old lady. She is Dolly Parton, and during the pandemic, I think she popularized this trend. From this trend, actually, we can learn that several social media sites, several social media platforms, each social media platforms, they have their own characteristic that make us, as the users, follow certain culture or certain rules. There is no way we post our sexy photos on LinkedIn, right? And there is no way we post our formal pass photo in our Instagram. Yeah, what for, right? Instagram has to be aesthetic. That's like the culture of Instagram. And LinkedIn has to be formal, has to be people have to be well informed about us, about our education, about our achievement. That's LinkedIn. And Facebook is being labeled as the family social media. So the way, because Facebook users mostly Gen X and millennials, and as Gen X and millennials living nowadays, we already have already built our own family, probably have children, probably have grandchildren already. So everything shared on Facebook, sometimes family based. And then Tinder, just like online dating apps, we tend to show like our best self and a best physics, things like that. So this is actually illustrating the way we perform differently for each social media platform. And probably you already realize by now, that is why I become this person on Twitter, but I become this person on Instagram. That is why I become this person in TikTok, but it is a little bit different with me on Instagram. Yeah, things like that. Although use online behavior often correspond to their offline identity status compared to offline context. Online context afford opportunities for more exploration and fewer commitments. In particular, an important aspect of many online communicative environments is that they may disinhibit users and increase the potential for self-disclosure. The anchoring role of friends, it was being found that when we are building our networking in our social media environment, we tend to anchoring the role of friends in our networking. For example, like this. In social media, we are not always connected with our family members, right? Yeah, how many of you have your parents, your mom or your dad follows you on Instagram, for example? Or how many of you have your parents follow you on TikTok? How many of you have your parents follow you on your second account? Probably no one, right? Probably your parents didn't even know that your second account exists. So things like that. In social media setting, we tend to acknowledge friendship-based relationship more than kinship, than familial relationship, and mostly and in particularly with parents. Because in offline setting, when we come back home, for example, if you are uh, going in Jogja for what is it, like merantau, but if you come back in your hometown, you will feel like being what is it, being guarded every day. Like probably your parents will have a control over your situation, like at what time you come home and who are you going with, things like that. But when you are in Jogja, you are more free. That's actually what happened with the internet, with the social media. When your parents is not there, you can feel that you are being free, but actually you are not that free. Why? Because have you ever wondered, when you try to post something on your social media account, and then before you are posting, you feel like what will my friends say about me when I post this picture, for example? Should I choose this photo? If I choose this photo and then upload it, what will my friends say about it? Will my friends like my photo? Will my friends comment on it? Will my friends judge me, for example? So you are thinking so much, right? We are thinking so much about what will our friends say about things that we are going to upload in our social media account. So we are actually not free from control. We are unconsciously being controlled by the perception of others in the social media setting. Rooms for exploration. There was this quote in the research from some informant in the research. Coming to school in the morning, you can see me looking anyway, but on Instagram, I wouldn't just put like a bad looking picture of myself. You are only putting your highlights online. So there is this kind of polished self-presentation when we are talking about social media. And it doesn't mean that we are catfishing someone. It doesn't mean that we are trying to be fake, that it's not real or anything. Even if we are using filter, it doesn't mean that this is not the real us. So the online selves youth creates are neither completely disjunct from nor identical to their offline selves. Rather, they combine elements of who they know themselves to be with attributes they aspire to embody. So when we are polishing our self-presentation in the social media, it doesn't mean that it is not our real self, but it is the self that we aspire to be. So yeah, it's not always a bad thing to use a filter once in a while. Thank you. Any question? Anna?
Okay, hi Mbak. I want to ask, are there any tips for using social media as a space for self-exploration without losing our true identity? Like, how can we keep our online and offline identity balanced?
Most people think that it's just your Instagram, it's just your TikTok, it's not the real you. Many people still think that the real identity of the people is what they are offline. But with this online media development and the way our life is embedded to social media and we cannot separate it from it, I think yeah, some minutes you like away from your phone, you are already FOMO, you are already fear of missing out, and then trying to find your phone, right? That's it. That is how embedded our life is currently with social media, with internet. And I don't think we need to like separate the reality, because what we are in online, in social media, it is also a part of us. And what we are offline, it is not always all of us. Just like the Kaufman theory about dramaturgy, when you meet your lecturer offline, in compared to when you meet your friends offline, you can show a different personality, right? You can be so very polite with your lecturer, but you can be so easygoing and you can laugh, ha ha ha, with your friends. But you cannot do that in front of your lecturer, right? So whether it is offline setting or whether it is online setting, I think we are all show a polished self presentation. So it is actually not very different. So yeah, I hope that answers the question, Anna. Adele?
So my question is kind of relate with your explanation about dramaturgy given earlier by Anna tadi. So among the three identity theories, dramaturgy offers a performative perspective. So my question is, can this theory be connected to the concept of alter ego? And if so, does that mean the alter ego is also an authentic part of who we really are? That's it.
So I once conducted a research about self-presentation in social media, and one of my informant said that he feels that his second account, is more real than his first account. His first account is very formal, very he is presenting himself as a a normal kid, like just like ordinary student, ordinary human. But in his second account, in which the followers is only his closest friends, only selected people that he really knows, and not even his parents or other family members belong to the followers of this second account. In second account, he really shows himself, what he truly is. So he's a party goer. He likes to do art here and there, and then he's having tattoos. He is drinking alcohol. He's smoking. He's clubbing. He's doing everything that his parents don't know. He does that. So that is what it means by what I mean by sometimes the alter ego is more real than the real self itself. So that is the example. I hope that illustrations could answer your question, Adele.
Thank you, Mbak. I get it. I also sometimes I feel like my true self exists in second account or even third account. Thank you, Mbak.
Thank you. That's okay. That's the new normalcy in this digital era. If there is no more question, it's time for some assignments. It is related to the Dolly Parton challenge. I previously show you. You need to make your own Dolly Parton challenge, but you can change the platform to anything that you like, because probably you are not using Facebook, right? Or Tinder. So you can replace Facebook and Tinder with TikTok and I don't know, Twitter or any social media platform that you are using, but four types of social media platform. And then you can swap with your friends, swap your Dolly Parton challenge picture with one of your friends, and then you can analyze your friends' Dolly Parton challenge with today's material, what kind of self, what kind of identity that your friends try to show, and then you can submit it, your friends' Dolly Parton challenge and your analysis through Google Classroom assignments and compile it in one MS Word file. Okay, any questions about the assignment? If it's clear enough, I think I want to conclude this session for now. Thank you so much for participating in this class and see you again next week. Bye-bye.